welcome back everybody for the Sunday night analyst test, and they will be joined by Seung-Hyun Lee and Mira and Victory. And this is season with the translation, and that was Team Dynamic versus T1. Match coming in from round 2, and T1 picked up a win for game number 1. Looking at the draft, Team Dynamics was having their eyes on Closer's picks. They banned out all the picks that Closer played here in the LCK so far, and Closer answered with Syndra mid. Speaking of the draft, as Caitlyn climbed up the tier list here in the LCK, he was the B1 pick coming out from Team Dynamics. However, she was not able to exert a lot of pressure in level 1 and level 2 stage of the game. J4 also managed to make a point with the early game gank, forcing his flash out of the Syndra, but at the same time, they could not convert that into a very valuable point. But the game got a little bit extended, and the game was more about the team fights and objective controls. Team Dynamics, they did have a very meaningful moments with their comp power. However, in the end, it was so decisive that Syndra, a Closer on Syndra, a player who got most of his picks getting banned out, still outperformed the opponents, especially Caitlyn. In the end of the several team fights, he was not able to perform at the very early phase of the fights. Let's take a look at how T1 had made a little bit of a mistake with their macro. This was actually a reasonable decision because Syndra faced earlier, and also Wukong was the only one with the flash on the top lane. So he popped the Scryer's Bloom, so he knew the location of J4 as well. Wukong has bigger presence for team fights as well for this hero, but the problem was that, well, Olaf was a little bit impetuous with his hero try. He could wait for his teammates to group up and surround him to give him support, but he started off a little bit too early. And well, due to this misplay, well, T1 kind of lost their momentum for a little bit of a while, even though they had a huge priority all throughout the map. Had that Herald went over to T1, maybe T1 could have closed out the game even earlier based on their lane priority. So T1 needs to tidy up their timings with their objective controls, but because some of them Herald tribes even make a team to lose here in the LCK. So with that mistake, Team Dynamics was able to open up their space in this game, but T1 was the one closing out the game in the end. Team Dynamics, they draft around Caitlyn, but she got caught out for too many times, especially in the later phase of the game. Fans have been actually criticizing Dokdam for his poor performance in the recent LCK matches. But he was putting his trap onto Olaf with his ultimate on, and he allowed Kana to close the gap between AD Carry and Wukong. We can definitely tell that Dokdam at that point of the fight was having a tunnel vision, so he wasn't really aware of the fact that the rest of the enemies will be able to dive onto him. Well, because Olaf was down, Team Dynamics should be just showing their pressure to the side of T1, not going too straightforward onto the face of T1 players. So they had LeBlanc and Jace on his teammates. So Caitlyn could stay a little bit in the back line because LeBlanc and Jace can put more pressure in the front line with the poke damage, but Team Dynamics in general was not able to exert and execute the best teamfight scenario. It's time to check out the player of the game on the side of T1. The early game impact or the late game impact, and the answer is Kana on Wukong. Team Dynamics did not have a heads up of the plays that Wukong can pull off. Whenever T1 was in a bit of a sloppy moment, Wukong was the one coming in and diving onto the backline, taking down all the hyper carries on the side of Team Dynamics. Whenever a team is facing up against Wukong, it is better to actually just zone him out instead of just ignoring him and opening fights by themselves. Hana already on 800 POG points here in the LCK now, tied with Kenyan for the third and Chovy for the third place of the POG standings. It is now pretty obvious that Hana is the ace and the MVP of T1 nowadays. Hana almost picked up a perfect vote for this POG, but one of the media guys decided to vote for Closer, who also had a very fantastic performance as well. Will T1 manage to close out this series with a 2-0 score? Let's check out in game number 2.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for the analyst desk translation. KEKW's over to the media once again for ruining the perfect vote for Canna. I think that there was absolutely only one choice.
Yeah.
Dokdam's positioning wasn't great, but the fact that Canna was capitalizing on it every single time was why T1 won the game.
Making all the plays and all the team fights starting from him.
Yeah. And also almost solo killing Jace like 4 times that game. I think shout out to Rich for avoiding the monkey snowball for as long as possible. But it was inevitable in the end. And, you know, having a glance at Reddit as well, I mean, I think a lot of us weren't necessarily expecting Canna to be this good. But now being the best performing player on T1, it's pretty damn impressive from the rookie player from just the beginning of the year. Closer as well had a great game. The unkillable Syndra in the mid lane. I mean, I feel like Syndra is one of the more killable mid laners there can be. But it's certainly not when it's in the hands of Closer. As now we're going to have T1 on the blue side as we hop into the draft. And Big Bad Brad is going to be taken away. I'm sorry, Wooded, your favorite champion.
No.
Not going to be in the game.
I mean, it's okay. I always call him Pig, you know? Because he's way too big in League of Legends.
Too big for League of Legends. Needs to be big.
Yeah. But anyways, game 1, we can easily say that it was bot lane difference.
Oh, yes.
And maybe, I mean, Dokdam's performance was really bad. But at the same time, I couldn't realize that Guger was playing Lux, you know?
Yeah, why?
He got solo kill. And why did they pick Lux blind? When they already saw Lux, I mean Karma on T1 side, you know?
I guess they were expecting...
It's not a good matchup.
Yeah, I don't know. They were expecting probably for the Karma to head into a solo lane. T1 are going to pick away the Zoe, as Aurelia was the ban of choice for the mid lane.
Ah, man.
I mean, Kuzan is a Lucian player, and Zoe doesn't have the greatest time into Lucian.
That's true, but at game 1 it was also a great matchup for LeBlanc because he had Jarvan in jungle against Syndra, you know? So they could make a single play in game 1, but they couldn't, you know? So I think
they have to pick Karma here, right? Yeah. And then they get Caitlyn Karma, and then it should be better.
Should be better. I don't want to see Lux again.
Okay, good. At least Dynamics are reading the tier list. Karma will be locked in. We'll see where Beyond is going to go as far as his jungle choice.
But then I think T1 can also pick up the Kalista, even though maybe people can say that it's not good matchup into Caitlyn.
I want Team Rocket, man. I really want Ezreal.
Oh, yeah.
I want Ezreal.
That's true.
Yuumi got buffed on this patch, you know. She's back to being a little bit good. 13 seconds to go. We'll see what T1 do want to do. I think that Teddy going back to Ezreal makes some sense, but Ashe is also another great one into the Caitlyn.
Expanding the champion pool. So I think it's good news.
Teddy doing a lot of thinking, but it will be the Ashe.
I'm not sure who is going to be the partner with Ashe right now. Normally you just pick Bard and it's such a great combo. Or Karma to make a lane kingdom. But right now, both cards are gone, and I guess it's again back to the comfort pick for effort.
All right, Nautilus going to be locked in here. not exactly the most fun to play a melee champion into Caitlyn Karma, but see how Effort's gonna do.
I'm already worrying about Dum, you know?
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we really just wanted the Lux lane, as this should be Kuzan's Karma coming in. Kuzan was one of our better Karma players.
I don't like it, but they have such a great memory with this competition, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, that's why they're picking it again, but I don't think they're showing up the reason why they picking up the Caitlyn Lux, you know?
Very weird. Very weird. Is going to be better into the Nautilus rather than it was into the Karma.
And again, Beyond is getting pinched.
I think he'll play. I think he'll play Sejuani if she's still going to be available. That's what I'm assuming.
Sejuani is such a bad jungler to help your teammate in the early game, you know? Yeah. When I have Sejuani as enemy jungler, I feel so great. I feel like I can...
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
But I just have a feeling that it's what's going to happen. Lee Sin's still available as well. Could be something that either of these teams are going to go towards.
Or just go extreme with Lulu jungle, you know?
True. You could just go full spirit if you want to. There's the Trundle ban.
All the junglers from Beyond is banned.
Wait for this, Sedge. I mean, it's happening, isn't it? Unless they want to pick away Wukong or something like that. I want to see Cuz play Gragas. That's what I really want. Cuz Gragas is so good, and he got buffed, you know?
Yeah, that's true, but I felt like that buff is mainly for the lane Gragas.
Yeah, true. It is all about scaling. Is look, I told you so, man.
Yeah, I mean,
we knew it was going to happen.
It's pinched, so it has to.
Yep, it's the only other choice. As all right, Cuz thinking about the.
I mean, you can play Karthus.
Yeah, Karthus is fine.
Like, it's such a free game. You're playing against Sejuani. What can Sejuani do? Better jungling? Better ganking? No, not at all. You're playing against Karthus. So, this is such a great news.
We're going for the Kha'Zix. Okay.
You can play whatever into Sejuani nowadays, you know? Just pick whatever you want.
I actually really like Kha'Zix. We've been seeing it a lot overseas, but we haven't really seen it here in Korea. I think this might be the first time in the LCK that we actually have the Kha'Zix picked up.
Yeah.
As, I don't see him in the list, so...
But still, it's risky, though.
Yeah, true.
Because when it comes to like a late game team fight or something, then you have tanky Sejuani on the enemy team and shield competition with 3k HP Caitlyn. So I think if Kaz cannot able to have a great early game with Kha'Zix, then
here we go.
Man.
Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh my god, this is so good. I wrote in Rich instead of Fiora, writing down the picks here because I'm so excited about watching this matchup. Camille versus Fiora is one of the better ones. It's all mind games. It's all skill matchup. And Canna has been performing extraordinarily well, but this matchup can go either way, right? You wait for the hook shot. That's when you use your riposte. Otherwise, it's all about dancing around, trying to get the most damage in.
And eventually you have Sejuani in your team, so the team fight can be a lot easier.
Yep. Definitely works really well as a 4-1 comp out of Dynamics as well. I really love this.
Yeah.
Similar to be said on the side of T1, but we'll see who's going to be able to do it better.
Yeah, but my only worry is that still the team comp is around Caitlyn, and Dogtam's Caitlyn performance is just one of the worst Caitlyn in the game 1. And also the last time when they had Caitlyn team comp, it was not like he was carrying the game alone, you know, even though the team comp was around him. So I think, again, this is the time to Dogtam to prove himself into Teddy, one of the great AD carry in LCK right now. So yeah, please.
And also he's going to have to swat some bugs as well because Cuz on the Kha'Zix is going to be gunning for him as often as possible. Although I think in the early game, he might get fed trying to kill a Lux over and over again. There are a lot of squishy members, especially towards the bottom side. And if the Kha'Zix can skirt around the Sejuani and not get into a brawl with a Fiora, it'll be a very rough time. But let's see whether T1 can ride the 2-0 and spend some time in 3rd place for the first time this season, even if it is probably going to be just for an hour or two.
Yeah, but
or Genji reclaim it.
it's all about momentum, you know?
Exactly.
Especially on Kha'Zix. It's not about macro. It's just all about snowball early game, just get some kills.
And also, the thing that I find really scary, right, is that Closer gets a bubble, Dynamics runs away, the bubble goes off, Cuz kills them.
Yeah.
Because if you find someone isolated, it's exactly what Kha'Zix loves. And it's really cool. It's really cool. I mean, I just really like Kha'Zix as a champion. I always have.
But I think it's similar with Graves, that you have pressure, that you have to do something.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just cannot just farming out for 20 minutes and hope for the win, you know?
Although, Kha'Zix won the 92-minute game for Jinan against
That's
T1.
true.
He did do that. He
I mean,
killed Faker when Faker was in the shop.
If you evolve the W, then you can be really useful in the team fight as well, so...
That's true.
Interesting match on the top side as well.
This is really fun.
Yeah, old matchup.
Yeah.
Camille versus Fiora.
Reminds me of when Khan was back in the LCK.
I mean, I think it's really mechanical matchup, even though you can maybe think that easily just block the Camille's E with Fiora's ability. Still, like, you can have some mind game.
Oh yeah, it's all about, like, if the hookshot goes off first, generally the Camille's going to lose the matchup, but like...
Yeah, I mean, look.
Yeah, the thing that happens, right, is that it doesn't really matter, right? You don't use those abilities and you just try and poke each other down. Rich trying to dash around and kind of just trying to sweep him up, but you can see going for as many weak spots as possible, and Rich just eating through his potion. Does at least have the... oh my goodness, that's some poke. Level 2 gained first here by Rich, and he utilizes it very nicely. And I feel like Rich is positioned really well. I mean, when you play HOTS, it's all about lane trading. You know, it's not about killing minions and things like that. And this matchup is all about lane trading.
Yeah, and focus on core only.
Right, yeah, got to focus on the core.
Not about team fight.
Try and get as many coins around the map as well, guys. Yeah. It's been a while since I played that game.
Yeah.
Don't quite remember many of the mechanics, and I don't even know whether they're relevant anymore. As there's a dredge line towards the bottom lane. Dr. going to be taken down to half health. He's just having a rough day today.
Why?
Is this Caitlyn? He's going to get ignited. Teddy looking for even more autos. As Dr. now doesn't have to use the flash, but does have heal on cooldown. And that trade's certainly going to be won out by T1. Cuz moving out towards the top side. Rich down relatively low. Spotted, as you can see, but is it going to be enough? Rich will have one dash, does get it past, but still has to flash. Cannon flashes forward, but doesn't manage to get the stun. It doesn't matter, as he's just going to dab on top of the Fiora, and at 3.5 minutes, First Blood going towards T1 in the matchup that it really needed to.
Again, from lane, a lot of things are happening again. Top lane because of the gank, and bot lane because of the players.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. I think he's just too tunneled on his trap, you know. Whenever he's like, whenever enemy team is CC'd, he's only looking for the trap and like just standing still to deal a damage on cat lane. But yeah, I mean,
that's it's not exactly what you want out of the Kate, but hopefully it's been a bit of a wake-up call and he can perform better in this game.
I hope so, because the team comes again around Caitlyn, you know.
Oh yeah, it's even more around Caitlyn this game because they have a
for
counter
sure
in the mid lane.
Otherwise, they have no damage.
Right.
I mean, is Fiora gonna have such a great team fight? No. I mean, even though you have
she should be in a side lane.
Yeah.
The whole game.
Even though you are having a Sejuani in the same team, still Fiora is not made for team fight.
Let's have a look at this one.
Hook shot 2 seconds. Has W on. Haha, nice.
Was pretty nice.
Yeah. Clean.
Yep, Rich is going to continue pushing in. Does have a slight CS advantage as it stands right now, but really too much of a big deal is, yeah.
Same matchup.
Certainly does remind me of Khan, and you can see exactly why, and that was the same matchup like you were talking about. It was a win, and it was for T1 back in the day. As Guga, he's going to get slowed down. Teleport comes in as Closer has himself a Proto Belt, and yeah, that's a really dead Lux. Teleport comes forward from Dynamics, though, and Kuzan going to try and lock down the Zoe, picks up a flash, runs away with it, and Closer is going to survive. And that teleport's going to make Kuzan feel a little bit silly, not even able to get lane control. And the wave in a pretty good spot for closer as well as we have a look at the mid lane.
Again, Caitlyn Lux is losing lane.
Yeah, against a Nautilus Ashe.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
Ashe is fine, but Nautilus shouldn't be winning.
I mean, you picked Lux into Nautilus, you know?
Yeah.
They saw everything. I mean, this is really interesting, you know? Like, it shouldn't happen, but it is happening. Maybe because of the jungler again, like Sejuani, not impacting the lane enough in the early game. But also, that was such a great TP play by Closer right there.
Yep, decent trap there by Doctor. We know that he knows how to trap. He's been trying to do it all series. But Closer even like picking up a million flashes, gets himself the heck out of there. Really beautiful to see. Flashes on top of the other flash in order to pick it up and then flash away into the alcove. And you can tell he's a good player. He has a redemption.
It's not a coin flip. Oh, and Tarzan. Back in the day.
Wow.
He's streaming on Twitch.
Actually a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you spoken to him about when he's going to join a team? Because
oh yeah,
you know, we're in need. I mean, his jungling.
Yeah, he was DMing me like because of the photo that I made, like jumping photo in LCK, you know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I asked him like, what are you doing? And he said, I'm streaming and I'm looking for 2021 words, you know.
all right.
So everything is going great. And
well, in goes Beyond. He's only level 5, so Kanna's going to be absolutely fine. Bit of egg on Dynamic's face, but no summoner spell is going to be invested or anything like that. Kanna doesn't have his flash. I mean, I feel like this is going to be a gank opportunity as Rich not going to be able to back from there.
He's already having fun time.
Oh my god, they just land everything! Guga going to grab the shield, but one more auto, and that's going to be the flash forward from Teddy to once again 2v2 kill on the bottom side of the map. Ashe Nautilus versus Caitlyn Lux. What the hell?
I mean, yeah, that's why you do not pick Lux into Nautilus, you know? If you make one mistake, then the game is over. You're not gonna exist in the game the rest of the time. And yeah, they could have like easy draft or easy champion to like pull out the better performance, but yeah.
No, not this time.
Not this time, man.
Also, no cleanse on Doctor either.
Yeah, that's really interesting as well. And also, I mentioned about his build last time when they had Caitlyn competition. Like, he was not building QSS at all. So, he died so many times in teamfight, you know?
Now he needs a QSS even more.
I mean, you know what? Defensive item is not actually a defensive item, you know? It is a tool.
Yeah, it's
for
an offensive item
yeah.
because it allows you to position more aggressively and have that to lean on. Absolutely right. It's something that we needed to talk to Hybrid about a lot.
Yeah.
And now Docdom as well.
I agree. You can soak so much, like...
yeah, soak the
CC potential, you know?
Yeah. But into an Ashe, I think it's actually just really rude to not take cleanse into Ashe.
That is true.
It's disrespectful. That's just an ulti. And Kuz is going to turn up. That's a great riposte out of Rich, but I don't think it's going to really do anything as he's trying to lock down all of the weak points. Not going to be able to, though, as we've just got a hook shot out and back in. And Kanna, he's now 2-0-0. And this game is looking more and more over.
Yeah, I think Fiora is donezo as well.
Man.
Fiora shouldn't die in all the game. Like,
no. I mean, this matchup, like, it should be Fiora favored.
Yeah, I mean, the matchup is fine, but still, it's really hard to get a solo kill in the lane, so you should just farm it up.
Yeah.
And it's really fine to just farm it up for Fiora because her late game potential is so great. We know how fast he can push into the side lane.
Well, let's have a look at this one more
I'll
time.
be level 6, 1 minion.
Oh,
solo kill.
God, effort.
I mean, he was already calling solo kill. It was all calculated, by the way, because like he was calling that 1 minion, I will be level 6, so let's go.
Yep.
And when he got level 6, he was literally calling solo kill.
And effort was like, well, I'll deliver it to you, don't you worry.
And yeah, Fiora is done, as I mentioned.
And that's 2 ganks, right? And that's sort of what they had to invest. I don't think this is necessarily like, oh, Rich is terrible, doesn't understand the matchup. But, I mean, he has to play like this But the
I mean, he
punishment
shouldn't
from T1
play-
is just too high.
Yeah, he shouldn't play that aggressive in the lane, you know.
True.
It's enough that he is having lane prior. That's enough, you know. But you shouldn't look for like aggressive trades whenever, when Kha'Zix can, whenever he wants, you know, on the top lane, because you have Sejong in your jungle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Kha'Zix now 6,500 gold in the lead.
And
His
also,
Krug camp is available. His now counter is going to get the repulse out of Rich.
this matchup is already done. Like,
Yeah, Closer going to find a bit of damage there onto Kuzan as well, and he's got himself a blue buff, so he's going to be pretty comfy. Cuz now with Rift Herald, see where they do plonk it down. They might just throw it into the mid lane here. Dynamics were able to grab themselves the Mountain Drake. Second one will be an Infernal, as we've got either Cloud or Ocean. And I feel like Cloud and Ocean makes a lot of sense here in Korea. It's monsoon season. It is extraordinarily rainy and very, very hot.
yeah.
So
Today, I maybe
you couldn't get to
come here.
work, right?
Yeah,
Because it
that
was
is-
just, everything was underwater. It's crazy. The Han River is just,
Yeah.
it's exploded.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. Han River, by the way, guys, is a huge river that runs through the middle of Seoul. And it's burst the banks. As Rich, does avoid the hook shot nicely.
Side trade is happening, and
Oh,
T1 is
no.
one who has the Rift Herald, so I think Dynamics, they really need to make some play on the bot side, otherwise the game will be over.
Well, Beyond is just going to run away, but they're going to spot some
Uh-oh.
control vision. And yeah, I mean, Rich is trying to hold on as the riposte does eventually come out, but Closer's just going to come in, throw some sparkles at the Fiora, and yeah, Sad B will come out from Rich. He's just getting bullied up towards the top side. 5-0 the kill score. Only a Mountain Drake saving Dynamics from a perfect game. And,
There is no counterplay by Dynamics. They are not even able to get a single plate on
Yeah.
both sides as well.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, they got first Drake, but it means nothing.
Yeah.
The snowball is real, and I think it's even worse than game one.
And it's also so important, right? It's so important for Canada to get ahead in this matchup. Otherwise, the Camille can get bullied by the Fiora.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a snowball on either side, and it's so volatile between these two. But also, Cuz needs extra money. Because he is relevant based on the amount of damage that he can do to the squishy targets of Dynamics. So it's just good news everywhere, as now Cuz is going to find Kuzan. He flashes immediately, but the leap comes forward. Closer not going to be able to find the kill, and Cuz very, very squishy. And now, a depth charge, going to get a brilliant double knock up there. Effort just playing fantastically for the last few weeks, to be honest. And Doctarm is super dead. Gonna flash, but he probably shouldn't have, as Guga's going to fall down as well. Teddy tries to grab the kill, Canna flashes away. Beyond is ignored, and the arrow going to come through and deny Rich any sort of entry. Couldn't actually press his riposte button in time, as their hook shot gets Canna out of the way. And T1 to look like the Harlem Globetrotters here in this game.
They're so clean!
Oh, man.
That was just so clean. That was just a textbook. The way how you snowball for the bot lane.
They still haven't died.
TP and just ran out.
So good. The arrow, perfect. The volley, perfect. The hook shot, amazing. As we're going to have a look at this one once again. I kind of didn't want to see it again. Look at the Sad B.
Yeah.
Sad B.
Clean dive on the top side and into the bot lane. That was clean engage, as you mentioned. And also, that was really sad flash by Doctarm. He was ignited.
Yeah, it's...
But he just flashed out for no reason.
Yeah, that's a big no reason right there.
And also, the escape was real. Everything was just perfect.
And I mean, if Rich had a press riposte, like, he's still not going to be able to catch up, right? It's like, there's no good decision to make there as Effort even there to try and get an extra slow.
Pro plays.
It's so sick. Really, really well done by T1. Blade of the Ruin King now done for Teddy. Infernal Drake is live. It belongs to T1, by the way. Cuz is going to be doing a lot of damage to it. It's dead extraordinarily quickly. He's got a serrated Dirk. He's looking for his Umbral Glaive. And I feel like Kha'Zix, now that Umbral Glaive exists, feels like an even better choice, right? Because you get so much extra control with that pickup, and it just synergizes so well with his kit. So I like the... I think the last time I saw him played was Trick in the LEC. Doing some good things on the Kha'Zix. That was a Orianna comp, but he works in a comp like this as well.
Yeah. And
Arrow. That's going to find a Lux. Now Effort looking for a dredge line. He'll find it. and even waited as long as possible so everyone could close in position. But Cougar, he's got the aftershock, so he keeps himself alive with that one. But T1 are denying a lot from Dynamics, and I just don't think that there's going to be too much that they will be able to do to stop this avalanche that is descending upon them. Kuzan now going to be found in the river, and you do not want to face check a Camille, especially one that is this fed. Hextech Ultimatum comes down, and this could just be another kill fed over to this Camille. Rich is going to move on down. So I think, oh no, because Cuz is coming in, they're going to look for Beyond, but Cannon may have bitten off more than he could chew. I take it all back. He's just so good. Camille will be taken out, but the Fiora is going to fall. Also, Tower falls on the bottom side as Teddy. I mean, there's just not enough resources to take down every member of T1. So 1 kill for Dynamics so far this game. I don't know how many more they're going to be able to get.
Yeah. The other side should get something, you know, so that's why Dynamics was just moving towards top side. But Kana, he read everything. Like, he was just looking at the map and he realized that Karma is gonna come on the top side for Kana. So that was such a smart move and great decision by T1.
Oh, Rift Herald is just gonna be shoved down in the river. So Shirley gets to spend some time in her natural habitat before she crams her face into this outer turret mid lane. T1 doesn't look like they're going to actually be able to get this turret, but it's only got a whisker of health left, so they should be able to push another minion wave in and take it down. Caitlyn not going to be here. She has an Infinity Edge, but I just don't know whether it's very relevant at this point in time. Let's have a look at this one more time.
Yeah, I mean, he was just so smart at game. The basic rotation was just coming out from the Dynamics, so Kana was just knowing everything, what's going on around the map, you know? So that's why he was looking for Karma. Maybe the second hookshot was a little bit aggressive.
Yep.
But anyways, they got everything. They got bot turret, they got great topside situation at the same time. So everything is just so simple and clean from T1. Like, they're snowballing, it's just way too clean.
Yeah, they're following such a precise game plan as well. I mean, you talk about clean, often we talk about that in relation to just good mechanics, right, in an isolated fight. As, the cleanliness is all about when they pick their fights, and you can see effort in a fantastic position. The riposte is going to not really work as the tactical sweep comes in, and Kana will pick up yet another kill onto this Fiora. 5, 1, and 3. 8 out of 10. 80% kill participation there, if my math is correct. I believe it is this time.
The only way Dynamics can win this game is just stall out this game until 40 minutes and hope for the Caitlyn. Like, Caitlyn gets like 5 items or something with this competition. Maybe they can win the game, but I don't think T1 is gonna let them have free farm for another 20 minutes. So yeah, I mean, they know it as well, so they're just snowballing so fast enough, controlling whole map. Just look at the control wall positioning, like, and also the Raptors and the Wolves.
And Cuz thinks that Dynamics just don't have enough of an ability to get into their jungle and actually place wards down, so he went Duskblade as his first item to maximize his damage. Just, you know, the synergy with that item. And Kha'Zix's very, very strong, always has been, but I would like to have seen an Umbral Glaive. If I just think it's just so valuable on to junglers in general, because their job is to remove vision. As seen this one before, but Rich is now going to be going for a fight that he just cannot win. Teddy moves on down as well, and Rich, I mean, he has the riposte, but it does absolutely nothing. Beyond is super dead. Also, it's a double kill for Teddy. Cloud Drake in 20 seconds, pretty good time for T1 to win a fight, but I have a feeling that Dynamics are just running it down.
Yeah, definitely. They were inting, because if you are behind, you shouldn't make a solo or duo play. You should make a play as a team. Like, even though it's like single target, you should just go as 5 because you are behind.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it's going to Valorant.
It's just going to circle around Runeterra forever.
Yeah. Maybe.
If you're in a game of Valorant at the moment, just have a look at the sky.
Yeah, maybe
there might be an arrow flying overhead.
From Teddy.
Yep. Maybe if you're playing Legends of Runeterra as well.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's going to, you know, fly over your card game. Don't know. It's gone somewhere into the ether. TFT, perhaps. you observe an arrow that doesn't seem to be from the Ashe that's on your board, it may have been Teddy's arrow that he just threw towards you. Speaking of Teddy, he's going to clear out this mid lane. 3-0-3 on the Ashe. Been playing very, very well. Effort as well. I mean,
everyone.
I just continue getting so impressed by him as we're going to have a look at Jonas Strong having some fun here. As Rich does avoid the hookshot nicely.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't matter.
That is true. And also the ultimate from Effort forcing out from the Rich. And Rich King is surely dead.
Yeah, swept up. And here is the gank on the bottom side. A very sad Rich.
Yeah, I mean, they're making play as a duo, you know? As I mentioned, if you are this behind, they should make a 5-man play, not a duo play. I mean, look at the goal difference.
I know, it's insane. 8,000 gold at 21 minutes.
At least look for man advantage or something.
Yeah, right.
Like,
group up and actually use the Ardent Sensor that's on Kuzan.
Maybe.
Know? I mean, that's a way of actually having some value. As Kana. Well, I mean, I've seen this one before.
Yeah.
As he is going to face check at Sejuani. Actually, no. She moved away.
He's just so smart, you know? Like, he knows that he's on danger. And
Guga, he has to flash because he was trying to check the Baron Pit with his ultimate. He checks the pit, but not having flash means that he's a free kill. If Cuz decides that the Lux wants to die, then the Lux will die. As all
great vision control.
Yeah, exactly. There is absolutely nothing. As, there we go, the surprise insect from the jungle. Kuzan's super dead. He's just going to watch it as he falls down. And now the rest of T1 come on over. The double knock up there from Effort, who is, of course, in perfect position to lock that one down. Arrow lands onto Beyond, as does the bubble. But T1 have already backed away. They're going to grab themselves a Baron, most likely. And this game's over. It has been for a while, but it's super over now.
Super duper over, that's for sure. And I think maybe it can be the mental problem after game 1, you know? Because I don't feel like they were like these wars that T1 at game 1. They showed up decent performance.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was actually much closer. You're exactly right.
They're just falling out with their silly mistakes. It's not about their team plays, you know? Just making so many silly mistakes in lane and also just going into the wrong position again.
Yep.
Obviously, we saw the vision control from T1, you know? Obviously, you are not able to, I mean, you're not allowed to enter that jungler. So you should go through mid as 5-man, you know? But that was not happening. The basic rotation is missing from Dynamic's side. And yeah, the hope, the victory is
3,600 gold in the lead.
Oh man.
Kana is more than a Trinity Force ahead of Rich. And
it's not Rich anymore.
Yeah, no, he is super poor. And yeah, we're not looking very dynamic either. It's just not really working out as far as the names are concerned. But they are certainly beyond it.
Yeah,
so
and
at least he has the correct name.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
But
this game is beyond over.
But anyways, they have like game deciding 5 minutes. If they can defend this Nashor power play, then actually they can stall out enough time for Caitlyn. So yeah, in 5 minutes the game will end, or Dynamics is gonna have a chance for the late game.
I think that's a bit optimistic personally. I don't know whether they have much of a chance at all.
That's true.
We'll see what they can do. That's a great dredge line to come out here from Effort, who's going to go very, very tanky with his stone plate. Teddy has so much DPS. The arrow is going to get a goal right in between as the bubble connected. Oh, Guga very close to falling. You can see Closer is so incredibly fast. Kana taking down the inhibitor turret in the mid lane. And you mentioned that it's either over or there's a chance.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's leaning closer to over, as we'll have a teleport back from Closer. He's going to keep that siege minion alive as well as Rich. Yeah, he's trying to base. He needs to be here for a potential fight. But I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. Another dredge line lands from Effort. Just give this guy the POG. He's so damn good. Although I think that Counter's going to steal it away yet again. We're getting ahead of ourselves, though, as Dynamics have one last chance to win a team fight. Beyond at full health. Doesn't have ulti though. Not a lot of options is cuz he's being challenged. He's going invisible trying to run away. And he's just going to time it out, I believe. Canna is just going to sweep up Rich. And there's the Hextech ultimatum, a very dead. Fiora is now everyone on Dynamics has to go towards their fountain. We got some last minute kills, but there goes the Nexus 18-1. An absolute shellacking there from T1 as they take down Dynamics in swift 2-0 fashion.
Such a one-sided game and such a clean performance from all the members from T1. That was a great game.
Yeah. I think this is like the rebirth of T1.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, the middle of the season was lackluster as far as their performance. They were slow. They weren't able to take down objectives very cleanly. This time around, it is clean. They're using their brains. They're like the way they designed where all of the ganks were coming in. Like that was what was beautiful to watch. It's not like watching DRX, right?
Yeah.
Where it feels like they run around like headless chickens with amazing mechanics. Like that's not what's happening in this game. This is like the T1 of old that just knows more than you.
Calm and collected.
Yeah, but also extraordinarily skilled mechanically.
Exactly.
You know? Like
on the bot side.
Yeah.
That was a so clean bot play.
I love watching Epic play, man.
Yeah.
I love his new haircut, and I just think everything's going well. As who are you gonna give the pog to? We did.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm confused, you know. Closer, he played well. So clean as well.
He did.
But
like
I don't think he's gonna be
also
like
played
you know?
amazingly well. I think Effort.
Should I give it to Effort because he set it up all the plays by himself, or should I vote for Kana because he countered the dynamics play on the top side?
I don't know. I'd give it to Effort personally, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's up to you. You're the one that has the you have the pen. I don't have the vote anymore.
Okay. I voted. So.
Oh, all right. I'm well and truly alongside as the vote is going to go through for Effort. Canna will probably win, but I mean, I think it's better to vote with your heart, even if you know that it's not necessarily going to work.
Yeah.
As, let's check out some of the highlights and see whether they are all focused on Canna. As he misses the stun here, so he can take away some points for that.
I mean, he died once.
But look, every dredge line landed.
Yeah, that's true as well.
He's just super good.
And they got the solo kill again on the bot side, so I think they deserve it.
Yep.
As a bot lane, you know, not only Effort. I think Teddy also played such a great Ashe game. And yeah, top side again.
I mean, this was just beating a dead horse, to be honest. Yeah. Just killing Rich over and over again. They did have to do it. I mean, it's part of the strategy here. You have to keep the Fiora down, otherwise she can get out of control, but he just did enough.
Clean.
Effort just walks forward, stuns up everyone. Yeah. I mean, his Nautilus was just so good this game, in a lane where it shouldn't have been. Right?
I mean, just look at how they take the escape, you know, T1.
Yeah.
Teddy.
And I don't even think we saw the level 6
and
Teddy kill either, which is another great moment, as this was just super clean.
Yeah, and this is the counterplay that I was talking about. This was dynamic side that they need to snowball, but Kana, he's just so smart and good at the game.
And also knew that the rest of his team was coming to back him up, so in he goes. Probably knew that he was going to die there, but they still managed to win the trade. Closer gets yet another kill. And yeah, I don't want to keep watching Rich die. It makes me really sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is so much pressure for Rich for like everything, you know?
Yeah.
He needs to carry, he needs to win lane. Like there is so much pressure on him. So that's why it's making it even harder for dynamic side, you know?
I think this game was all about just really clean shot calling.
Yeah.
And good decision making out of T1. The old way that T1 used to win games, right? Like just by being smarter than you.
And Closer looks insane.
He does. Looks really, really good. Even in a game that isn't about him, right? Like this game was not about Closer at all. I don't think. Like, yeah, he held down the Karma in the mid lane, but I mean, you're supposed to. This game was about controlling side lanes. It was about top lane and bot lane. As you can see, not getting a little bit crazy in those in the comms, and you can see why. It is a very linear gold graph, and T1 just ramped it up to a win. 18k damage as the Camille in a 25-minute game. Ain't bad at all. But yeah, just clean stuff out of T1.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
I mean, I feel like Closer is reminding me when Easy Yoon was playing in T1, you know? Like, he was so calm and collected and not making any problems in lane.
Yep.
And that's why T1 was so strong back in the day, you know?
But also, like, I really like the fact that it's sort of both Easy Hoon and Faker that were so good together, and we're yet to see that out of this new T1, but I think that Fake will be able to come in and offer something different. As kind of like we were talking about, we knew that he was going to get player of the game, but
yeah,
I still think that the vote going to Effort made a lot of sense as well, as we'll see exactly what the designation of votes is going to be. But look, he did play very, very well.
It should be close, though.
I hope so. I really hope so.
I think maybe some of the media guys will. I think they give it to maybe Kazik this one.
No, it was all about Teddy. This game was all about Teddy. And so sad though for Rich. Like, this is a matchup that is normally really fun, but this game wasn't fun, right? There was a Kazik in his lane over and over again, and this was 10 out of 12.
Wow, 2 supports though.
I hope it, 2 supports. So you and somebody else had their brain switched on. 1 media.
Oh man, I don't want to get played by
a
lot
I would
of
have voted. I would have voted as well. So I'm definitely with you. I think that Effort had a fantastic game.
I'm scared now. Just hide that I'm casting today.
Well, he's got 900 points now. I mean, Canna is about to break through towards the top. Remember, it's BDD and Showmaker both sitting at 1,000 points. BDD with a chance to get a couple more as well. As Genji will be playing in our second match in about an hour and a half or something like that. It's going to be a long break. Hopefully you guys have something planned. Remember last time we had huge breaks, I recommended go learn a language, learn a trade skill, something like that.
Just play Valorant or TFT.
Yeah, you can do that. But here we are. Here's the interview, so here's Ji-sun.
Translation, and let's have a talk with the solo POG on the side of T1. Kanna. Congratulations on the win. You guys managed to get your revenge. How do you feel? In the first round robin, yeah, it was a bummer that we lost. But I'm happy that we were able to pick up a very easy win. And today, you were able to get your redemption. And also Dynamics, they were able to show some of their potentials as well. What was the focal point of today's series? Nothing really special. Well, the reason we lost in the first round robin is because we were playing bad. So this time around, we wanted to play with confidence. Looking at the pick and bans, you guys let Caitlyn through the hands of Team Dynamics. I mean, you know, the bottom side of the map is so far away from me, so I have no idea. But I heard that they weren't too worried about Caitlyn itself. Then let's take a look at the top side of the map then. Well, as a top laner, but still, if Caitlyn gets super fast, she is really intimidating. What's your thought on this champion by itself? Well, yeah, I mean, like, it is really tricky to find my angle as top laner, for example, like TPs against it. In addition to that, Team Dynamics were target banning Closer's picks. How did Closer react to it? Our head coach told him to watch, you got target ban, and this is why you have to broaden your champion pool, but at the same time we weren't too worried because he has a big champion pool already. And Closer was really obeying to the older brothers in your team. Yeah, he's not the one giving shot calls. And as you said, Closer did a fantastic job on Syndra, not even dying once in that game. I didn't give any shout out during the games, but maybe I'll try right here. So for the opponents, mid lane was the only lane to gank, but I'm really proud of him and thankful that he was able to take the ganks and absorb the aggro really well. However, Kanna, you were also doing a great job on Wukong, always diving onto Caitlyn. This was not an easy angle, to be honest. How did the situation go? I think it was the Dragon Soul fight. So we were feeling a lot of pressure because we were not contesting it for a lot. But Caitlyn was in the front line for a little bit of a moment, so I just went right in. So was that the main theme of the team fights? You diving onto Caitlyn? Yeah, because we were feeling too much pressure about the dragon, so I thought that I have to engage onto Caitlyn. Moving on to game number 2, we had a lot of classic picks. Kha'Zix, what was the plan in that champion? I mean, we've been practicing every champion during the scrims. And yeah, we thought that Kha'Zix is a really good and viable champion. However, well, Kha'Zix, the clearing of the jungle camp is not fast enough, so he has a very limited jungle passing and gank paths. So yeah, for me, I don't really like it. Not a big fan of Kha'Zix. But whenever Cuz picks those kind of champion, he always just tells me, "I'm sorry, Kanna," and I'll just carry the late game. However, today he was ganking top a lot. Very uncharacteristic playstyle coming out from Cuz, and you have the lowest JP overall. I really like this. And Cuz, I mean, well, if he kind of look for some scaling for the late game, he always like make a huge contribution in the late game, so I always believe in him. How did the players react to the last pick, Fiora? Yeah, it's been a while since I played up against it, but nothing actually came through my mind about the Fiora pick. Well, thanks to Cuz, you guys were able to get a lot of kill on Fiora. And, you know, game number 2 was more like a landslide victory. So when was the moment that you guys felt that you guys got this game? When, like, I think bottom lane got solo kills, and then we had a very clean victory with my TP. So unless we make mistakes, we were quite sure that we were gonna win. And Kanna, with 900 POG, you are gaining fast on the #1 players, the 1000 POG points. Do you also think that you are the ace player of T1? Well, getting POG, well, it's more about my teammates setting up for me. I mean, I do also make good performance, but I wanna say thank you to all my teammates. Kanna, speaking of Kanna, it has to be something about solo kills. So we found out that you get a lot of solo kills during the side lane rotation. I don't really care much about solo kills, but like so many people are talking about my solo kills, so I'm starting to be aware of it. I didn't like look it up, but I have the information about the solo kill record. Yes, yeah, I mean it's Marin with 31 solo kill for a regular split. I do want to break that record, to be honest. So yeah, you are 6 solo kills away from Marin's record. So I hope you can break the record. And also T1 is on a 5-match winning streak. In order to extend the winning streak, you have to take down Africa Freaks. We got another easy win, so I hope we can get another victory in the upcoming series and keep the winning streak rolling. And I have my wish, my goal for this year is making Worlds, so I hope I can make it.
코칭 스태프가 온전히 경기에 잘 집중해서 전념할 수 있도록 팀에서도 이제는 좀 건전한 응원의 팬문화를 해줬으면 좋겠다.
I heard that T1 is also made an announcement that they are looking to make a cleaner environment for the players to have a better fan surrounding them. So any message for your fans? It's been a while since we played without the fans at the arena, but I always appreciate your love and support. I hope you can punch your ticket to Worlds and enjoy the ride to China. So this will be the end of the interview with Kana, the solo POG of T1. The T1 has now jumped to the 3rd place up here in the LCK, so let's check out the standings.
Thank you so much, G-Sun, for the interview translation with the wonderful Kana with the solo POG. T1 do move up to 3rd place. We'll see how long they hold on to it for, because of course, if Gen G win in any fashion, then they will go ahead in game score, despite the match score being even. And Dynamics wave goodbye to their playoff hopes. Unfortunately, there is no chance that they'll be able to get ahead of Afrika, and we'll be looking now forward to KT to see whether they can get up those standings just a little bit. They do require Afrika to lose, right? Like, this is all... Like, Afrika have everything in their control. Yeah, they are the team that control their destiny. They win the next few games, and they will be up against a lot of opposition that are also vying for that spot. So, this is rough for KT. They need to win the next one if they want to keep those hopes alive. Gen G also want to get back into 3rd place to make sure that they don't have to go through too much of a gauntlet. But guys, we do have a very long break, and we'll see you afterwards for more LCK.